Pokemon getting out of control here. And that's because Rayquaza is there to basically get the job done. Now let's go over these moves. Hyper Beam, Hurricane, Twister, Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, okay? Dragon Ascent, Outrage, Dragon Pulse, alright? He's got it all. He's basically got every attack in the book. Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw. You just not beating him. You can't. He's got every dragon type move in the book. Probably even Blaster Burn. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty much he's got everything in the book here. Okay, so what has he done? What has he done? What does he scale above? Well, easily, the scaling is pretty obvious. He scales above a lot of Pokemon. He actually scales above Yveltal, Xerneas, and Zygarde. Yveltal is the literal concept of death itself, okay? And is actually able to bring death to the entire Pokemon universe, or if you really want to go that route, multiverse, because the main Pokemon universe is connected to the entire Pokemon multiverse. So it's very possible he can bring death to all of it, and it's confirmed he can. And with Yveltal, he's able to counter Xerneas, basically being the embodiment or the concept of life itself, and he's able to pretty much bring life back into the universe when Yveltal first killed it all. So yeah, they pretty much balance each other out and make sure no one goes on the other. Zygarde, on the other hand, is to make sure all the realms are kept in place. Zygarde, in his 50% form, right, is so strong that he can hold every Pokemon realm. Yeah, that's actual lore. I'm not kidding. He's actually able to hold all the Pokemon realms, including Ultra Space, Dialga, and Palkia's Spatial and Time Realm, even Giratina's Distortion World are all held in place by him. Speaking of which, Rayquaza has actually been able to 6v1 the Creation Trio, Primal Groudon, and Primal Kyogre. It's actually even confirmed that Rayquaza, before he even got his Mega Evolution, was able to overwhelm Groudon and Kyogre with his power. So this means base Rayquaza is already above both Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, who's able to stand in the same realm as Kyurem, who is the strongest dragon type on the planet. This even includes the likes of beings like Mega Charizard X, who is able to go toe-to-toe and hold his own against 50% Zygarde, matching his strength even. So again, no, we cannot dismiss the fact that Rayquaza will simply not only dog walk that same Mega Charizard X, but also being able to slap these other legendary Pokemon with ease. He's easily above Necromazza, who's also been able to absorb the light in the universe. This guy was also able to overpower Rayquaza. Rayquaza was also able to overpower Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia. Now we're going to focus a bit more on Giratina because the updated of Pokemon lore now puts Giratina above the true forms of Dialga and Palkia, who can sit outside of the multiverse itself. That means Rayquaza not only was basically holding his own and overpowering a being that is above his siblings who can sit outside of the multiverse and not be affected by it. So Rayquaza pretty much sits on such a high pedestal in the Pokemon cosmic hierarchy that the simply fighting him himself is just an absolute impossibility. You wonder why he's really never lost a fight. He's consistent. He's very consistent in both the Pokemon anime and manga as well. So yeah, that's basically what we have. He's also incredibly fast, able to easily transverse space. Even scaling, he's able to blitz other Pokemon that are faster than beings like Solgaleo and Galo, who can move through ultra space or like warp space with their own speed here. Okay, easily faster than beings that can tear holes through dimensions with their speed or tear into other realities with their speed, which would be an immeasurably, which is done by, even if you go by versus battles wiki standards, yeah, they actually have that right. Being able to literally move so fast that you're passively affecting space and time and tearing into another reality would be faster than light. And to think they don't even need the speed force to do this. but yeah, that's let's really get into it. Let's
Tienen el postgame de los profesores es esclarecedora. Estos dicen de su propia voz estar investigando Pokémon provenientes de otras líneas temporales, lo que para muchos ha hecho descartar completamente la teoría de la imaginación y dar por confirmada la opuesta, pero si has llegado hasta este punto del vídeo, seguro entendiste bien la moraleja de estos juegos. Nada es lo que parece a primera vista. Una frase de los profesores es para mí definitiva sobre lo que nos querían contar realmente. Estos mencionan las líneas temporales, sí, pero también insinúan que la máquina parece sacada de un sueño. Como ya hemos visto, el juego no deja de mostrarte situaciones, diálogos, lugares y escenas más propias de un estado de ensoñación que de supuestos viajes en el tiempo. Incluso el propio evento de encuentro con los profesores está rodeado de una bruma onírica y una atmósfera extraña, todo para terminar abruptamente, casualmente con una misteriosa pantalla de título diferente al amanecer y apareciendo en nuestra cama en la academia. ¿Estoy asegurando entonces que todo ha sido un sueño y descartando que hayan viajes temporales? Tampoco. La existencia material del libro que este personaje nos intercambia genera decenas de incongruencias y paradojas temporales y las notas del profesor en el fondo del área cero atestiguando esa paradoja están ahí. Aunque también se podría ver al revés. Tal vez leer esas notas generó en ti el deseo de saber más y Terápagos materializó ese deseo en el mismo lugar. A lo que voy es que el juego es intencionalmente ambiguo con esa lucha sueños versus líneas temporales porque, en mi visión, ambas son ciertas al mismo tiempo.
universal entity. I don't think anyone should be able to complain about that here. However, the new lore for Arceus, thanks to the leaks and stuff here, we're not talking about the Hysuian Typhlosion leaks. It's just crazy. Even artillery was getting some, dear lord. But Arceus was actually able to not only battle against, but defeat multiple Titans who were trying to contain his power. And yet, he still just grew past it and just defeated them all. Now, see, that's something I would love to see for the future. But anyway, Arceus should also scale above his children, both in their true forms and in their avatar-like states here. You see, the creation tree embody the various concepts of time, space, and reality. And in their true forms, they transcend that. Again, putting them at an universal level as well, because they transcend the concepts of time and space quite casually here. Arceus' realm that he created that houses his true form also exists beyond time and space. Now, Arceus will basically have every hacks in the book, from creation, manipulation, to reality warping, time, space, yada yada. He's got all, okay? But, due to his plates, alright, he is able to change his typing. And, with this typing, he's able to gain access to every Pokemon move. So he doesn't have the standard 4 or 6. Yes, Ashen Snorlax can use 6 moves, so I don't want to hear that. He can use all of them. So if he turns himself into a grass type, right, he can use Giga Drain. And then turn himself into a rock type and use Stone Edge. A fire type and use Flamethrower. A ghost type and use Curse, Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball, Destiny Bond, you name it. He can use all of it. It's absolutely insane in my opinion. But here's the the funny thing about it, right? Arceus would also scale above 3 multiverses in the Pokemon cosmology, which are all infinite size. You might say, wait, Legendary, what do you mean 3? Yeah, I found this out. So dreams in Pokemon count as another reality. Considering every human dreams, and even every Pokemon dreams, that was confirmed as well here, Arceus basically has an entire dimension dedicated to the concepts of imagination, where both Darkrai and Cresselia both manage both dreams and nightmares. And then you have Ultra Space, which is its own separate multiverse far beyond the level of the first one. And then the first Pokemon multiverse, which already has infinite realities and infinite possibilities in it. Crazy, ain't it? Then there's the conceptual Pokemon. The Lake Trio embody the concept of spirit. You already know about the Creation Trio and what they embody. Then there's Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde, who embody death, life, and balance. Huh. Quite interesting. So many conceptual beings that he just scales above, right? He would also scale above Rayquaza, who's able to contend against all these legendary Pokemon at once. This will also put him above Hopa as well, who's an absolute monster himself. And in the manga, he fought Base Groudon, Base Kyogre, Zekrom and Reshiram, and Regigigas in a 5-against-1 scenario. And was winning. Yeah, I find that crazy too, don't it? It's absolutely insane. So, with that being said here, and I think that it just kind of, is self-explanatory at this point here, that Arceus himself is an universal entity. Oh, and by the way, one of his plates, right, given to an average legendary Pokemon, pretty much puts them on a level to where only he can stop them. Because again, that is his power. It gave Heatran so much power, right, that he was able to punch through space and time together. Keep in mind again, all space and time is confirmed to be infinite within Pokemon by the writer. So, a single plate of Arceus granted a low-level legendary like Heatran the ability to punch through space and time like it was nothing. And it got so bad that Arceus had to come and stop him and get his plate back. Okay? So, again, let's wrap this up, right? Arceus has every hacks and ability in the book. Alright? He's got all these forms of manipulation. Astral, magical, you name it. He's got it all. He's got telepathy, telepathic resistance, all that. Does not matter. He has also every moveset in Pokemon. From poison to fighting, to flying, to bug. He can even use all their status element abilities as well. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. Who wins more often than not? And I'm keeping a buck with y'all.
Both on TikTok and even on YouTube, saying that Arceus only created the multiverse in its true form when he's consistently stated to be the creator of it, and even his children have been able to create the literal concepts, or at least became the concepts of space and time. Arceus literally created everything in the multiverse. His children simply added on to it. They gave these realms the reality, the time, space, and stuff like that. And keep in mind, Pokemon is an infinite multiverse with infinite dimensions and even higher realms as well, such as the Dream Dimensions, Palkia's Dimension, Yveltal's Realm, and so on and so forth. So keep in mind that characters like Arceus or Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina are all platonic beings capable of wiping out entire realities quite casually. So yeah, just some food for thought and everything. But now we have the fact that Arceus is known as the one who transcends everything. This includes the entirety of the Pokemon cosmology and stuff like that. So Arceus himself being able to literally transcend every single realm in the cosmology, even as an avatar, including realms that are literally beyond the concepts of time and space, like the distortion world. And keep in mind, he can destroy these realms quite easily. He can even beat his children in their origin forms. And their origin forms are meant for them to completely transcend everything. Okay? So he's able to beat beings in their true forms. And in their true forms, they're able to literally transcend every concept in the Pokemon cosmos, everything that he created, and yet he's still able to beat beings that were able to transcend everything he created and everything they added on to. And keep in mind, this is pretty consistent for Arceus, known as the one who transcends everything. His true form isn't even bound by anything. Like, you can honestly say Arceus is a boundless character if you really wanted to get it that high. So keep that in mind, where, characters like Arceus and Arceus, Giratina, Dialga, and Palkia have literally, I guess you could say, kind of fall flat when it comes down to these kind of characters. And the fact that they can actually I guess you could say, lose to Arceus himself is actually saying a lot. There are also Pokemons like Yveltal, Xerneas, and stuff like that, literally embodying the concepts of life and death. And then you have Zygarde, who literally balances the very concept themselves. And in his lore, because apparently there's Yggdrasil lore in terms of the Pokemon, or Alchemist lore, I should say, excuse me. Zygarde is able to hold every multiverse or every universe in Pokemon in his serpent-like form, mind you. And then you have confirmations. Like I said before, the distortion world completely transcends time and space, meaning they're beyond it quite casually. And the funny part about this is, once again, Arceus is able to destroy that. He's able to completely nullify that. Then you have the dream world, and funny enough, Arceus transcends this as well, meaning he transcends the concept of imagination, which again is a very high thing, because imagination allows you to do anything. Again, we've all had those crazy dreams where we became a werewolf, a deathclaw, a vampire. You're bagging the hottest chicks in fiction and stuff like that, and you're just doing, you know what you're doing. You getting them, you clapping them cheeks, or for the female ones, getting their cheeks clapped. You guys know what I mean. No diddy. But with that being said, yeah, you have Pokemon that also embody the very concepts of knowledge themselves, and this includes the Lake Trio. Yeah, they embody, like altogether, they embody the very concept of knowledge itself, and they embody the emotional spectrum of things like spirit and, well, the very concept of spirit, things of like hope, love, and stuff like that. They embody all these emotions, and obviously the very concept of spirit, like I said earlier, and they get one-tapped by the avatars of the creation trio. I want you to think about that for a minute. They one-tap the very concept of knowledge itself. Concepts, excuse me. And then, the Arceus is like a one-shot of a one-shot. We saw how he was able to handle those entities. Oh, and by the way, the lore for Arceus is actually much bigger and much more deeper than I described. So, keep in mind, Arceus is also able to bestow Pokemon with godhood. It's actually confirmed in the lore that there are godlike Pokemon running around in the verse. There's a Houndoom and a Ninetales with literally god-level power running around and simply, protecting the entirety of the multiverse. I know, I find it crazy. So this means like any average Pokemon, something like Tyrantrum, Lopunny, Lapras, Gengar, etc. These are Pokemon that can easily become outer versatile quite casually if Arceus simply said, you know what? I like you, little man. I'm going to give you some godly power real quick. Here you go. Boop. And then next thing you know, boom. Now you're dealing with a whole Ninetales that can make Kurama look like a joke. A whole Lapras that could drown the likes of Monsterverse Godzilla underwater. I'm not even joking about this. This is the lore that's in front of you. These Pokemon are literally up there. These basic Pokemon, mind you, can literally fight against other legendary Pokemon. Like Reshiram, Zekrom, Rayquaza, Kyurem. They can fight them and have a good chance of winning. And then Arceus himself has way more combat feats than Zeno. So I'm not sure how he's able to win this. Keep in mind, Arceus from birth destroyed the concept of chaos. Like, him coming out the womb destroyed the very concept of chaos. Then you also have the fact that, what am I trying to say here? He destroyed the concept of chaos. Oh, he also fought these entities called the Titans. Not sure who they are exactly, but again, these were entities that were supposed to be able to contain the raw power of Arceus for centuries. So this means Arceus grew in power to such a point where he was no longer able to be contained by them, and then proceeded to beat them. And then establish the entirety of the Pokemon multiverse. And the funny thing is, seeing people say that, oh, he didn't create the the Pokemon multiverse in his avatar state, when again it's literally shown he started creating everything at that point, because his true form would one-shot everything, is absolutely.
Starting off with Joker's AP, he's just scaled to outer versal. This is due to the fact that he's able to take on people such as Azathoth, a person who's stated to be on a different level to the likes of Yaldabaoth, a being who transcends the concept of dimensions. As for speed, he's able to keep up with characters such as Thor, who transcend the past, present, and future, which would give him immeasurable speed, to irrelevant speed for keeping up with characters such as Shido and the Holy Grail. This is backed up by his hacks such as Fate Manipulation, Power Absorption, and Durability Negation.